Hello and welcome back to another video on the channel. Great to have you with me again. If you've not already done so, please do hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like my content, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. You can also become a member of the channel. I have 3 levels of membership, have some great members who are benefiting from lots of perks like members only videos, badges, member shoutouts, that sort of thing, and it's great stuff indeed. Check it out. On to today's video, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Teams. We haven't done a Teams video in a while, and the videos that we've done so far are very much focused on the user side of things, and I wanted to start maybe as a little bit of a mini series about the Teams Admin Center and how it all fits together and what sort of things you can do. And it's divided into sections, obviously, and I'm going to start working my way through it from top to bottom. And we're going to start with Teams themselves and Teams settings. So there's lots of policies and settings that we can configure in there for organizations in lots of different ways. So without any further ado, let's dive in and take a look. So to manage Teams settings as an administrator, we need to be in the Microsoft Teams Admin Center, which you can reach at admin.teams.microsoft.com. To get here, you must have one of the appropriate role assignments, and we can take a look briefly in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center at admin.microsoft.com, and if we go to roles and role assignments, then we can look for the Teams roles that are available to us. And there are a few. We have Teams Administrator, which is going to give full access to Teams and Skype Admin Center, manages Microsoft 365 groups and service requests, and monitors service health. There are some lesser roles with lesser permissions, so the Teams Communication Administrator can assign telephone numbers, create and manage voice and meeting policies, and so on and so on. So generally speaking, I would think in order to manage Teams settings, the Teams admin role is probably going to be the most appropriate. But look into that and assign the most appropriate role for your organizational needs. But assuming that you've already done so, we are in the Teams Admin Center now, and if we come straight into there, we're going to get this dashboard and our overview and all that good stuff. But we want to be looking at Teams first and foremost, and I will do a series on this where I'll go through everything within the Teams Admin Center and we can look at how this all works from an admin point of view. But this video is going to focus on the Teams and managing them and the settings. So if we drop down, we can see that we've got a number of settings in here that we can manipulate, and we'll go through them one by one. First and foremost, if we click on to Manage Teams, we can see a list of all the teams that we have in the organization at the moment. I don't have many in here. I've got 9 teams in there, and we can see a list of them. We can see the team name, the number of standard channels in that team. We can see the number of private channels and the number of shared channels. We can see the privacy level that is set for the team, the status of the team, whether that is active or archived. We can see the description of the team, whether the team has a sensitivity label applied to it at what we would call the container level. Some of these do, some of them don't. And we can see the group ID for the team and the expiration date for the team as well. So from here, it's very easy for administrators to manipulate these teams. We can select and do certain things. We can unarchive if archived. As we can see here, I've selected one that is archived, so we can do that if we need to. We can delete the team and so on and so forth. If I select a team that is not archived, then we can do some things other than that, like editing. We can go into edit the team, and oh, we've got an error there at the moment. Let's just try that again. There we go. Nice and simple. We can change the name and description of the team. We can change the sensitivity of the team. So here we can choose the sensitivity labels that we have applied, or that we have available rather, as published by label policies in our Microsoft Purview compliance portal. So we've got general, personal, confidential, public or none that we can apply to the team here. So I could quite easily just put this as a personal one, and it will select the privacy level next. We can make that private or public. So we can make that a public team if we want. We can manage the permissions of the team as well, and what can be done in this team. Can users who are members of this team edit sent messages? Can they delete sent messages? Can team owners delete sent messages? There's a lot of options here that we can configure. Mentions, are mentions something that you can have within the team? So mention teams and messages, mention channels in messages. So when we're talking about mentioning, we can use that at option, so we can at users and we can at channels. What can guests do within the team? So guests can add and edit channels, guests can delete channels, so we can toggle those settings on and off as needed. And some fun settings as well. Do we want to allow Giphies on or off? What is the content rating on Giphies? Moderate or strict? We've got some controls there. And we can select whether we want stickers or memes for our team as well. So I'll discard those changes. I don't want to change those right there. So nice and simple. What other options do we have? We can export. We can filter, we can refresh the list, we can edit the columns and add some different columns in there. We can see more information here. So if we toggle all of these on, we can see information on team members, owners and guests as well. So there's only 3 columns I didn't have applied there. And we can get those added into our list of columns as well. Easy for admins to add a team from here as well. They can go in and add a team name, a description, who are the team owners going to be, what's the sensitivity level, and the privacy, of course. That's probably more common for teams to be created at the user level, but then again, it's going to depend on the organization. Some organizations might have tighter controls on who can and can't create teams, and there's going to be expiration policies and that sort of thing as well. So that's managing the teams themselves. What about team settings? Well, we can manage settings like email integration and file storage for all the teams in the organization here. So we've got some control over things like notifications and feeds. We can manage the way that Teams handles suggested and trending feeds, and suggested feeds can appear in a user's activity feed. We can toggle that on or off. Tagging. We can control how tags are used across the organization. Tags can be added to one or multiple team members and used in at mentions by anyone on the team to notify people who are assigned that tag of a conversation. So who can manage those tags? We've got the Microsoft default option there. We can set that to team owners and members, or we can have that as not enabled. Then we've got team owners who can manage tags. That setting can be on or off. Suggested tags, we can put in some suggested tags in here as well if we want to. Custom tags, what does that mean? We can hover on the information. You can let people add more tags in addition to any suggested tags that are already added, and if enabled, custom tags can be added. If not enabled, then only the suggested tags will be used. And we've got shifts. App can apply tags on or off. So when this is on, tags are automatically assigned to people who are on shift based on their schedule and group name in shifts. Email integration. With email integration, the contents of emails sent to a Teams channel will also appear in the Teams conversation. And if set to on, users can send emails to a channel email address and accept channel email from these SMTP domains. So we can be specific here in terms of the SMTP domains that we are willing to accept emails from within the channels. Files. We can enable file support in Teams for various file storage and sharing options that you want to be enabled in the and available in the Files tab. We've got Citrix files, Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, and Ignite, so you can toggle those on and make those available or otherwise as needed. Organization. Let users see others in their organization hierarchy, so you can show the organization tab for users. This means that within Teams, you can click on a person and see who they are connected to, who their manager is, who their peers are. So nice way of controlling whether that is available or not. Devices. We can control resource account behavior for Surface Hub devices that attend Teams meetings. So We can set the option to require a secondary form of authentication to access meeting content. So we can set that to no access, partial access, or full access. We can set a content pin if we want to. The settings available here are required for outside scheduled meeting, not required, or always required. And Surface Hub accounts can send emails. We can toggle that to on or off. We can also search by name and scoped directory search controls how users can find and communicate with other people in their organization. So scoped directory search using an Exchange address book policy. We can toggle that one on or off as needed. Safety and communications. We have role-based chat permissions that control the amount of supervision a user needs while chatting with others. So before you turn this on, turn on chat and assign chat permissions roles to users. So you can toggle that on or off there. And shared channels. We can guide users to your designated support request page for external collaboration assistance, as it may not be obvious that inviting external users to a shared channel is not possible until B2B Direct Connect has been allowed by both organizations. So you can learn more about the shared channels there, and you can provide a link to my support request page there. So that's some Teams settings. Brilliant stuff. Lots of things we can control there. Let's now take a look at policies. And Teams policies are used to control what settings or features are available to users when they are using Teams and channels. You can use the global org-wide default policy, which is there by default as the naming suggests, and customize it, or you can create one or more custom policies for those people that are members of a team or channel within your organization. I would always say don't ever customize the global org-wide default. Leave that alone and create any custom policies that you want for your organization and assign as necessary. So you can see here, if we select the global org-wide default policy here, then what we can do is we can go into that. We can see the description of it. It's the default policy for users. It's not a custom policy. Who is it assigned to? It's not assigned to anyone particularly. Is it assigned to groups? Discover private teams is off. There's lots of other settings there we can look at. But if we go into the global org-wide default teams policy here, we see the name and description. Discover private teams is toggle to off. What does that mean? This setting lets people search for private teams. When they find a private team, they can request to join. Okay, that's cool. Create private channels is on, so team owners and members with permission can create private channels for a specific group of users in your organization. Only people added to the private channel can read and write messages. We've got the option to toggle on or off the ability to create shared channels. As we've already mentioned, they are channels that are shareable in B2B scenarios. External people to your tenant can be invited to participate in shared channels without having to switch tenant, which is great. Invite external users to shared channels and join external shared channels on or off. So some nice settings there within the policy of the global org-wide default. So there we go. That is that. But we've also got this test policy here, which is not a custom policy. If we go into that one, we can see that we've got similar settings, not an awful lot of difference there. But that one is there for us if needed. Now what we can do is we can select these policies and we can manage and assign users to these. So if we go in, we can go in and bulk unassign users, or we can go in and assign users. We can search for those users and assign them to that policy. So by default, they're going to be in the global org-wide default, unless you assign them to a particular policy. Adding another policy is quite simple. Just click the add button, give it a name, give it a description, have the settings that you want. Nice and simple. We've also got a group policy assignment tab here. So what we can do here is we can assign people to a particular policy. So we've got this group assignment for one called supervisors here. So if we hover onto that, we can go in and test that policy, and we can see that is in fact linked to the policy called test policy. I'm a victim of my own naming convention there. So they are assigned to the test policy there. So what we can do is go in and we can search for a specific group and then select the policy we want to link them to, and then select the ranking of that policy. So select rank 1 if you want to. If you want the selected policy should be effective for all users in the selected group. So we could add in other group names there and assign them to a particular policy, which is a quick and easy way of doing so. Okay, next, what have we got? We've got Teams templates. This is brilliant. Templates can be used to create teams, channels, and apps that are available to users with common needs or a common project. And Teams templates are available to all organizations, including small to large businesses and educational organizations. Admins in educational organizations won't be able to create or edit class, PLC, or staff team templates. Admins in educational organizations that want to deploy a custom template to people in their organization will need to use Microsoft Graph. Okay, so what have we got in here? Teams templates. We've got a template, a few options here. Let's just close that side panel for a minute, and we get the name of the template and a description. So we've got standard team. We've got manage a project. We've got manage an event. We've got onboard employees. Let's take a look at some of these. So, and basically what you have here with Teams templates, we've got a short description of those templates, and many of these are baked in. For this onboard employee, the short description is create a central experience to onboard employees. You've got a longer description there. You can see at a glance what the template ID is, the number of channels that are part of the template, the number of apps that are part of the template. So when you use this template to create a team, it's going to create the team with a certain number of channels. So we're going to get the general channel with a Power Automate tab. We're going to get an announcements channel, an employee chat channel, and a training channel. We're going to get tabs for things like Yammer, employee ideas, milestones, really cool stuff. The apps included in the team, we're going to get things like Wiki, Viva Engage, formerly known as Yammer, Tasks by Planner and To Do, Power Automate, and SharePoint Pages. Really cool stuff indeed. So lots of options for templates there, and you can create your own as well. You can add a template. You can create a new template as a blank. You can use an existing team as a template to create a template that you can use going forward. Or you can start with an existing template and alter it. So if we create a new template, we can give it a name, give that short description, long description, locale, and then move on to next. Let's just quickly go through the process. Give it a very inventive name there, just for ease. And yeah, we'll accept English US. So here we can add the channel names that you want. So general is obviously always in there because every team has a general channel. You can add another channel name there. So we can just add in test. We can put a description in there for that channel. Is it shown by default? Yes or no? Let's put yes. You can add an app for the template here. So you can search for things like, well, there you go. We'll add in Wiki. We can add that in. And that's cool. So you can see how easy that is to do. We can go ahead and create that as a template, and nice and simple, very quick and easy to do. And that is really cool stuff. So when creating a team, then users can go in and create a team from one of these templates, and it's going to give them all the settings that they want. Really cool stuff. Equally, templates policies can be used to control what templates people in the organization can see. So you can use the global org-wide default policy again and customize it or create custom policies. So let's take a look at what this global org-wide default policy has in it. So we can control which templates people in this policy can see by showing or hiding them. And in this one, we've got pretty much everything in there. So what we can do is, I don't think we can do much with this global org-wide default one because it is it's not a custom one. So I don't think we can manipulate that. So what we can do, if we go back to template policies, we can add one in, and we can choose what we want to have as part of our template policy. So we could select just a few templates there. We can add in the test policy here. give it a better name than I am, obviously, but I'm just doing it to demonstrate. We can save that, and there we go. We've got a test policy there, and what we can do is we can manage users and apply users to that policy so they can only see the particular templates that you want them to see. Really cool stuff indeed. Teams update policies. What is this all about? So update policies are used to manage Teams and Office Preview users that will see pre-release or preview features in the Teams app. So you can use, again, the global org-wide default policy and customize or create one or more custom policies for your users. So again, let's take a look at the global org-wide default here. Name and description there. Users have the option to opt in here to the show Teams preview features, or you can set that to off, on for users in the current channel, which is preview, or on for everyone. So you can set lots of different policies in here for who gets the preview features for Teams. Can they opt in if they want to test out the new stuff? Is it off? Is it on for current channel? Is it on for everyone? Pretty self-explanatory. So you could add one here and put the settings that you need, and set things like use the new Teams client or use the classic Teams as the default, whether that's Microsoft controlled or not. There is the newer Teams client, which I will do a video on at some point, but I've not had access to that Teams client because I don't have any device that can use it. I'm always using either a Mac or a VDI to connect to Windows devices of some sort, and it's only been supported on actual Windows devices thus far as I record this. So frustrating, but there you go. I'm sure it'll come. And again, with Teams update policies, you can do it by group policy assignment. So we could create a policy here to assign via a group the policy that we want for Teams update policies. Very straightforward, very nice and simple. And finally, we have Teams upgrade settings. Now, most organizations now will probably see this. Congratulations, your organization is already in Teams. If you're in hybrid and you've had a long-term historical connection with Skype for Business, you still have Skype for Business on-premises server, you'll see some different options here potentially for coexistence with Skype for Business and that sort of thing, and you can change the settings there in relation to that. Admittedly, it's been a while since I saw those options and what they look like, and I don't actually have access to a tenant that has those options there anymore, but you can look at the learn.microsoft.com content there and get all the details you need relevant to Teams upgrade settings if you're in that position where you still need to make a decision on that. But that's only really going to be now if you've got that on-premises Skype for Business and in play. So there you go. That is our little look through Teams settings within the Teams Admin Center. Next time we do a video on Teams, we'll have a look at some of these user settings and we'll go through this, as I say. And that's it, folks. What did you think? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear your feedback. So let me know what your experience has been as a team admin, what roles you've assigned for Teams admins in your organization, in your experience as consultants and architects, and what sort of settings and policies and template settings you've put in place. Always interested to know. Cool stuff. I'm going to be back with more Teams content very, very soon, hopefully. Well, as I said at the very start, we'll go through the Teams Admin Center and go through everything. It'll be interesting when we get to the voice stuff because I really don't know too much about that, but we'll give it a look. Okay, so thanks always, as ever, for your support. It's massively appreciated. To my subscribers, please hit that subscribe button. Please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. Leave a comment. Reach out to me on Twitter. I'm not hard to find, as I always say. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. Thank you so much. Thank you to my members, all of you. You know that you mean so much to me. Your support is never taken for granted. So thank you very, very much indeed. Until next time, you take care all. See you soon. Bye-bye.